Hi, I'm Marjorie from Marjorie's Candies, and I'm going to make today cherry almond shortbread. I'm thinking about Valentine's Day coming up, so we're going to use some maraschino cherries, which I've chopped up, and almond extract, which is something that goes really very nicely with cherries. If you make a cherry pie, you almost always add a little bit of almond extract to the pie, and that's very classic type flavor for that. So, okay, you have powdered sugar and regular granulated sugar and butter. So I'm going to just start by adding all the ingredients to the bowl, to my mixing bowl. Now I will add the extract as soon as it starts to mix. You always want to add the extracts in with the butter because it helps to blend the flavors better. Now, I'm hoping you can hear me, but what I'm going to do when I roll things out, I'm going to add this also in a moment, is I combine sugar with flour when as a dusting. I'm not sure if I've ever actually told you that. I'll just put a little bit of sugar, and then later on, when I don't use, I'll put into a zippy bag and save for another day. So you kind of just do half and half, okay? And you just give it a mix. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a little combination. I find it keeps the dough from sticking even more to the board. I set that aside. I'm going to add my almond extract. That's a teaspoon. Okay. And then I'm going to start to add some flour. There's like 3.5 to 4 cups of flour. I just start that. I'm going to add a bunch of it at one time. Now I've got a little bit left here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape down the bowl. So I'm going to take a moment. Also get some of the butter out of here. The butter should be a little bit cool for shortbread. I'm just going to scrape the sides down a little. This mixer needs that. Some mixers are better than others. No offense to my mixer. I love my mixer, but it does need this. I'll start the mixing. Then I'm going to add the cherries. The cherries will give it that little bit of Valentine's-y. They'll appear. And also I use the almond extract because it's clear. And if I had used a regular extract, the cookie would have been a little darker. So now I'm going to start to add my flour until it's the right texture that I want. It's usually 3.5 to 4 cups, but it could be more. You want it to, when it starts to pull away from the bowl, then you'll know that it's ready, but you get a little more. Now in here was 4 cups. Okay. It needs a little bit more. Sometimes this recipe I use chopped nuts with a little bit of powder in the nuts from the nuts, and that helps to alleviate some of the flour. Okay, I can see it's starting to pull away from the bowl in there, so I'm going to stop it. Okay, and this is really quite perfect. Okay, very nice. So we'll take it out of the bowl. It's really pretty too with that. It's like a pinky color. It really would not be this color if I had used regular extract. Okay, so I'll throw a little bit of flour on my board. Don't be afraid to flour your board. It makes it so much easier. Then I take this little scraper and I just dump it right out. Looks a little dry, huh? But it's not. It's perfect. Actually, it looks really pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it together. I don't really want, I'm not really kneading it. What I'm doing is just bringing it together. If I was folding it over and pushing it out, this is more like almost a pie crust, which is what shortbread should be like. Okay? So what I'm going to do is put a little more flour down, or I'm going to get rid of these little blobby things. Okay. A little more flour down and sugar mixture. Now, one thing you can do, let me show you. I have these little stamps. I don't know if Michael can get what they look like, but my sister makes them, and we have like many of them for the different holidays. And when we make our regular crushed almond shortbread, which you can see on our website, we sell shortbread with these stamps. Now, you can go online, and what I'll do is on the YouTube video on the channel, I'll put down some sites that you can go to look for them. She makes these. My sister actually makes them. She's awesome. My sister Abby. So what you can actually do is you can take a little bit, like since the heart is small, you can just take a little ball, and I just kind of go like this, and then like that. And so you don't have to put flour in there if you turn it over, and then just push it out, and you get a little heart. So the heart one is really nice like that because it's round. Okay? You can make it as big as you want. But make sure that it fills up the whole space in there, though. You can just hit it, it comes off. Okay? So we'll set these to the side, and I'll show you how I do some of the other ones. And it's a really nice dough because it's made with butter. That is so pretty. So I'm just going to slide it around a little bit. You want this to be thick because of don't worry about things like that. That bakes right out. Because of the butter, it just makes it so nice. And this is about how thick you really want it to be for using the stamps. Okay, that looks great. Okay, so we'll get rid of this. Put a little bit more of this, just a touch, just to make it dry. Now, see if I have it in there. And you can use a pizza cutter, or you can use this pizza cutter, obviously, and this is something that I use when I'm making my cookies for my business. So everything is pretty much the same size. Okay, so they're going to be about like that. I'm just going to roll it across, and then we're going to make them. We want them about that big. So. Okay. Now I just get rid of all these guys and I'll roll them, and I can make little round ones with the edges that aren't exactly perfect. Okay. So I'll just show you a couple. I'll show you enough. Maybe I even have enough for both my boards. Okay. So we have a tulip, and we have our flower, which I think might also be nice for Valentine's Day. And I've already put some flour on there before I cut it, so you really don't need that. Just stamp it. Okay. That's the flower. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to pull some of these away a little bit. do a few more hearts. I always touch it with my finger because that helps it to fall off if it gets stuck, see? I've done a few of these. Hearts are really the most important one since it's Valentine's Day, right? Tulips are cool. We also have a butterfly downstairs, but I didn't bring that up for this. Just decided not to. See if I can get these into the oven. Okay, so I use a little parchment paper on my board. Oh, there. Parchment paper on the cookie sheets. I'll just pick them up and throw them on. So that'll be one tray. They bake for about 10 minutes and then I'll turn them around and in the oven and bake them for another 10 minutes or so. You want them to have a nice golden brown color because that's what gives them a nice flavor. Okay. If you have a skinny cookie like that, you might want to put it in the center. All right. So what I'm going to do is, since I have more than 2 cookies left, I'll just go ahead and put these in and even it off a little bit. And you want to put my oven's on 350, and my my racks are pretty much in the center. So we'll put that on for about 10 minutes, and then I'll check them, and we'll turn them in the oven, and I also put the bottom one on the top, another 10 minutes or so, and they'll be done. Okay, well the bell went off, and so I took out one tray, and if Michael takes a look at that closer, here's the other tray. I left them in a few more minutes because sometimes the top shelf and the bottom shelf cook differently. But they need to get a little bit of a brown. That's where it's going to taste really good. So, so those are the cookies. See how they look like the little flowers and the hearts? So enjoy them and thank you so much. See you again soon. Bye.